Hey everyone, Candy Roo here. I wanted to record an update video on my faith journey, so thank you for coming to my channel and I hope you enjoy the video. I am just gonna get right into it. This video was requested quite a bit and it took me seriously like 3 weeks just with the evacuation and then just everything really. So I've been putting it off, but now I'm like, let's do the video. So when I last left off with the video of why I left Islam and Christianity, I feel like I was just in a place of like, I just don't really want to talk about these details. I still want to get, grounded in wherever this thing is going. And, I'm still on a journey. I will be on a journey. Hopefully we all will be on some sort of a faith journey for the rest of our lives, with our Creator. Like that's like the actual point of life, I feel like. So it's not like, I'm gonna not be in some sort of a journey at any point, but I did want to come on and just update you guys, and I guess kind of like start a dialogue. There are so many people that I've come across that feel the same way I feel and or have felt the same way that I felt, or just in that like wrestling phase, just with their spirituality, with their faith, with their beliefs, with doctrine. And I feel like we just all need to talk about it instead of like pretending that we're like all solid and good and whatever. That is good. So for me, so after that video, I just really went into a season of just getting back rooted and looking at Yeshua, Jesus, in a biblical light, like away from whatever authors and pastors and scholars have to say about him, and just me looking at the Bible and looking at history and saying like, what do I believe about Yeshua? Of course, I don't feel like I super duper agree with anything in the Christian church. That's a bit far. So right now we go to a Messianic synagogue. And so I feel like the Messianic Jewish view of Yeshua, Jesus, is probably the view that I hold. I definitely do not believe that Yeshua was a white man. I definitely view him as someone who was, like Palestinian, so like Arab looking. So... But, aside from skin color, I feel like I would basically uphold most common beliefs and views of, at least in a very surface level way, of Yeshua, Jesus. And, about salvation and things like that. I've recently been looking back into different concepts that make up my faith biblically. And I really have I still read some Christian authors, but I feel like it's really hard because I just feel like it's so far off from what I believe and like what basic terms mean. And so for me, I've really been finding my foundation in the Hebrew and Aramaic, English translations that come from those. This is currently my favorite. The scriptures, it is from the Institute for Scripture Research, formerly ISR 98. I think on the Bible YouVersion app, it is TS 2009, the scriptures 2009. So, I don't know, I feel like my theology finally matches like what the original language is saying, if that makes sense to any of you. And we are in the season of the fall feast, the biblical feast, God's feast, God's appointed times. And last year we just didn't do them, and that I was really struggling with that. And I don't know, I feel like I was just really struggling with like getting my footing, because where we were at, we didn't have a fellowship that understood and were on the same page with where we were trying to go. And now that we have that community, and we have that fellowship, and we have that leadership with where we're trying to go and where I'm going, I feel like, in my faith, which is toward the fulfilled, I don't even like calling it like Christianity or like first century Christianity, like just the fulfilled Judaism. Like, it is the fullness of Judaism, in my opinion, with the Jewish Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. And so that's what I've been focusing on, and it's been wonderful. Oh, guys, like, I am so refreshed, and I feel like I have a new joy. I feel like I have new depths of understanding about life. I feel like I have a peace that just helps me feel okay, that like I don't know everything, and I know very little, and that's okay. And I'm learning, and I'm growing, and I'm building like bricks of my faith, and I'm looking at passages that I've been so trained just from the Christian church that I came from to see in a certain way, and now I'm looking at it and going, oh man, but that had nothing to do with what this is actually saying, and now this big picture makes sense. And I mean, there's no feeling like that, and it's wonderful, and it's beautiful. And I'll even tell you guys, like, some of you know, I was covering full-time from January of this year up until April, I think. Yeah, like April, mid to late April, or even May even, I can't remember, sometime April or May of this year. And it was really a good season for me, and so we moved down here, and I kind of got out of that season. And at our synagogue, women cover in all different styles, and that is so huge. It is so huge for me personally, because that's a part of my faith that it's very dear to me, and I love veiling, and I love veiling in all different styles. And I don't feel like the way in which you style your scarf should determine like what your belief system is, or gives grounds for someone to tell you what you can and cannot believe, or what you do and don't believe. And it's just beautiful to go to a diverse church with women who veil in all different styles. And it's, I don't know, it's just so refreshing. And I've met I've met like people here who God has been calling out of just like mainstream Christianity and bringing them into more of like a messianic Jewish, I hate calling it, fulfilled Jewish faith, you know what I mean? Like a full scriptural faith. And so that's been really cool. And I feel like, selfishly, I feel like God knew that like I needed friends who like didn't think I was crazy, or didn't think like, oh, okay, that's cool for you, but like I'm not interested, you know? Because when you're going one way and you kind of feel like your friends, like fundamentally you guys agree, but not really, it gets to, I mean, you just don't have anyone to talk about. Like when you see a scripture and you're like, oh, that just totally hit, you have no one to share it with but like your spouse. And what if your spouse is like doing their own thing? Anyway, I'm rambling, but it's been really good. And I feel like I'm finally at a place where I have balance, and I have freedom and peace, and I am so okay with living in what some, I guess, call the gray area. So I'm not going to get into like my specific theology or doctrine. I'm still not a Trinitarian. I don't believe in like the Greek version of Jesus. I don't believe in earning, like working your way into salvation. I don't believe that grace means you can do whatever in the world you want and you're good. So I don't know, I don't think much has changed totally, but I know a lot of you had seen my social media and just wanted an update. So there's my update. I guess if you have to label, just like Messianic Judaism, or my preferred term, fulfilled Judaism, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again soon, hopefully God allowing. All right, have a good day, afternoon, or evening. Bye, guys.